All right. Well, guys, now we're going to continue talking about feelings. All right. We're
Okay.
going to be using adjectives to describe how the person feels or to describe the situation that produces the feeling.
Right.
As we saw in the class, you need to use the adjective plus ed to describe how you or someone feels, or the adjective plus ing to describe the situation that produces the feeling. All right. What a situation is like. So I'm going to explain, or I'm going to give you some situations, and then you need to describe how the person feels or what the situation is like. All right? So the first situation is this. It's actually a question. How do you describe someone who upsets you or makes you slightly angry? Well, that person is annoying. Okay, and how would you feel if someone gave you a present for no reason? Well, I would feel surprised, totally happy and flattered. I would definitely feel surprised and flattered. How do you feel when you have nothing to do? Well, I feel bored when I have nothing to do. How do you feel when you are very afraid of something? Well, I feel scared. How do you describe someone who learns to speak 6 or 7 languages? Well, that person must be a genius and pretty smart. How do you feel when you can remember a word in English? Like you need to use it for a conversation or to say something and you suddenly just cannot remember a word. How do you feel? Well, when that happens to me, I mean, when I can't remember a word that I need to communicate, I feel frustrated, anxious, because it makes me anxious and a little disappointed. Do you know someone who is annoying? Oh, sure, I do. Actually, my neighbor, he's very annoying. He's someone who never says good morning. He's always playing music out loud, and it's sometimes he throws the garbage out right in the front of the house, and he never cleans it. So that's really annoying, and it's for real. He's really annoying, and he's always like criticizing, gossiping, and telling lame jokes. Bad jokes. So he's really annoying. And when was the last time you got annoyed with someone? Well, it was actually like 2 weeks ago. It was I have an MP3 player, and I my brother asked me to lend him my MP3 player, and I did. But I asked him to return it to me to give it back the next day, and he has spent like 4 days using my MP3 player, and he didn't. I mean, he didn't want to give it back, so I got really annoyed. That really annoyed me. Do you ever get bored? I mean, what kind of things do you find boring? Well, usually when I have nothing to do, I feel bored, and maybe when someone is telling me a story that I've heard many times, I feel bored. Or when I have to do the cleaning or something like that, I feel bored. Are you scared of anything? Well, yes, I am. Actually, I'm afraid of snakes. The snakes makes me scared, or they scare me. Are there any movies that you find really scary? Well, scary, not really. Actually, I don't really find any movie to be really scary. However, there are a couple of movies that I find really disgusting and gross, like Saw, the Juego del Miedo. Well, in English, I think the name in English for that movie is Saw. And there is another movie called The Last House on the Left. Is rude, is bizarre, is grotesque. I find it really disgusting, but scary, not really. Do you ever feel worried or anxious? What about? What Well, actually, yes. Of course, I sometimes feel worried and anxious. For example, when I'm about to take an oral exam or when I have some important appointment or something like that, or when I have to, I mean, the few times I've been to a job interview, I felt anxious. And when I don't have enough money to pay my bills, I feel really worried. Have you ever felt really disappointed? Tell me what happened. Mm, well, yes, I have. I remember when I graduated from high school, my parents couldn't afford sending me to college, so the only opportunity, the only chance I have to continue or to further my studies was to go and study at Sena. The thing is that the first time I applied, I couldn't make it. I didn't pass, and that was really disappointing. I felt really disappointed. But then the next year I applied again, and I did much better. And then I felt really satisfied and pretty happy about what I did. Do you have any plans that you are really excited about? I mean, like a party or something? Well, actually, yes. Well, last year I mean, my wife and I were supposed to spend a few weeks in Bogota for our vacations, but something came up and we ran out of money, and then, things didn't really work out. But this year we've been saving money to finally go there, so that's something that really makes me excited, something I feel really excited about, our our vacations in Bogota. It's gonna be the second time I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be my wife's first time there, so she's also really really excited about it. What is the most exciting thing you've ever done? Well, that's a tough one. I think one of the most exciting and extreme things that I've ever done was like a year ago. I had a friend who is from Poland. His name is Larry. Um, well, that's his American name, Larry, but his Polish name is Leszek Wolanski. Anyway, this is a really cool guy. He's over 40, but he looks 20 years younger. We went to a place which is like an hour and a half away from Cartagena. The name of the place is Puerto Velero. Puerto Velero is like a small beach that is like when you are on the way to Barranquilla, it's like 10 minutes before you get to Barranquilla, 10 or 20 minutes. So we went there, and I decided to try kite surfing. Kite surfing is it's kind of like a water sport where you need a kite and some surfing board, and then you need some special harness and some equipment to attach yourself to the kite and the board, and then you start like surfing throughout the water. That was really scary for me because I can't swim. Um, However, I decided to give it a try, and it was one of the most exciting things I've ever done. Then I continued to practice kite surfing, and I became fairly good. Not an expert, because I'm telling you, it's really scary, but at the same time, very exciting. And I think that's one of the most exciting things I've ever done in my life. Okay, next, I'm gonna give you a series of situations, and you need to describe how would you feel in those situations, all right? So, for example, imagine that you fail a test that you've been studying really hard for. How would you feel if you fail a test that you've been studying really hard for? Well, I think I would feel really disappointed and frustrated because when you study, you want to do your best and you want to go there and kick ass with your English. So when you fail an exam you've been studying really hard for, that's really disappointing. Disappointing. I think I would feel really disappointed. Now, imagine that it's your birthday, well, and your best friend doesn't show up. Your best friend doesn't come to the party. How would you feel? Well, if I fail a test I've been studying really hard for, I think I absolutely feel disappointed and frustrated because when you studied really hard to pass an exam and then you failed, my God, I mean you want to go there and kick ass with your English, but when you fail, you feel disappointed and frustrated, and sad. Now imagine that you are home alone during the thunderstorm. There is nobody home. You're home alone during a thunderstorm. How would you feel? Well, I would feel scared. Now, someone is telling you a story that you heard 20 times. How would you feel? I would feel bored, totally bored. Now, imagine that you are studying for a very important exam and your neighbor is playing music loud, like loud, really loud music. How would you feel? I would feel annoyed, totally annoyed and angry. Now, imagine that you notice that someone has been walking behind you or someone has been following you for 20 minutes. How would you feel? Well, I would feel kind of like scared and perhaps curious to know what's going on with that person. But my first feeling, I think, would be to feel scared. Now, I'm gonna make some comments. I'm gonna give you some pieces of information, and you need to show that you understand using expressions like "you must be," "that must be," "they must be," and stuff like that. Right? To show that you understand what I'm telling you. For example, I'm going to San Andres next month. Oh, well, that must be exciting, man. You gotta be really excited about it. I wish I were you. Well, my sister can come with us to San Andres. She can't. She can come with us. Oh man, she must be really frustrated. That's really sad. She must be really frustrated and sad about not being able to go to San Andres with you guys. I lost my wallet at the mall with my ID and credit cards in it. Oh my God, you gotta be really worried. I mean, what if someone finds your your information or personal information and steals your money? You must be really worried. Oh man, listen, I'm having an oral exam in 10 minutes. Oh man, that's really stressing. You must be really stressed and maybe, anxious. I passed my final exam. Oh man, good for you. You must be really happy and really excited about it. Oh man, I failed my final exam. Oh, you poor thing. You must be really frustrated and disappointed. Man, you know what? My girlfriend hasn't called me in ages. I don't know what's going on. She hasn't called me in ages. For real? You must be really worried. Oh my God, you know what? My teacher is really, really boring. Oh my God, you gotta be really bored about your teacher. Oh man, you know what? I have 2 days without sleeping. 2 days in a row without sleeping. Are you serious, man? You gotta be really tired and sleepy. Alright, finally, I'm gonna ask you some very simple questions. Some of them are like imaginary situations, hypothetical situations, and you need to answer the questions using, to explain the reason of your answers, to give me reasons of your answers, okay? So the first question is, would you like to speak excellent English? Yes, absolutely. You see, I've always wanted to be a teacher, and to be an excellent teacher, you speak fluent English, so that's one of the reasons I would like to learn how to speak excellent English. Would you like to work less and have more time for fun? Yes, I would. You see, I've been working really hard over the past years, and I haven't had enough time to spend some quality time with my family, and so that's one of the reasons I would like to work less and have a little more time for fun, to spend more quality time with my family. Would you like to spend more time reading? Oh, well, not really. You see, I like reading, but the thing is, right now I have too much to do. I'm pretty busy at work, and I'm not even spending enough time with my family. So even though I love reading, I wouldn't like to spend more time reading. I think I've had enough. You can also say, for example, well, yes, I would, definitely. You see, I'm studying in college now, and I have a lot to learn. I'm like taking 6 subjects at the same time. So that's the reason why I would like to spend a little more time reading. Would you like to live in another neighborhood? Absolutely. You see, my neighborhood is kind of nice. But the thing is, there are a lot of gossip people and they are very annoying. The neighborhood is nice, but the people, they are not really like your ideal neighbor. So if I could, I would like to live in another neighborhood. Could you help me to study for my oral exam this Saturday morning? Oh, this Saturday morning, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I can't. The thing is, I gotta work. I'm busy on Saturday, so I don't think I can help you study for your oral exam this Saturday morning. Listen, man, I'm in a pretty tough situation right now, and I need some money. Actually, I need 5 million pesos. Would you mind if I borrow 5 million pesos from you? Oh man, I'm really really sorry, but I can't. You see, I have the money, but the thing is, my baby, my wife is pregnant, and the baby is coming in like 1 month, and I have a lot of stuff to buy for the baby, so I can afford lending you the money right now. Maybe in 2 months or maybe 3 months, I don't know. But right now, I'm sorry, I'm really really sorry, but I can't.